Hi, this is Kerry Artak with Wicked Stocks, bringing you your daily Tesla report for Monday, March 27th, 2023. Before I click through all the charts, please click like if you would each time you watch the daily Tesla report and the daily Apple report. It helps us out a great deal in being found on YouTube. Also, become a Wicked Stocks YouTube subscriber to the channel. You'll be notified each and every time new content has been uploaded for your viewing. And finally, and last but not least, actually, please check out wickedstocks.com where we offer a full assortment of daily and weekly video analysis, very similar to what you see here with the daily Tesla report, the daily Triple Q report, the daily SPY report. That is the NASDAQ 100 and the S&P 500 ETFs. Also, two individual stock picks every week. Last week was Lilly, Eli Lilly, and Etsy. You never see these on YouTube. They're 5 to 10 minute videos giving you very specific support and buy signals, support levels to buy into, so forth and so on. And the S&P 500 index, the NASDAQ 100 index, and the TLT, that is the long bond TLT, the long bond ETF, as I like to call it. Anyway, this image here is a weekly bar chart going back obviously some 3, 4 years. And I'm just showing this to give you sort of the big picture. I like to work at the big picture and down into the day itself. Back in early January, we came off this channel support that is presently well below the market in the mid 60s, upper 70s. On the way up following that January low, we were watching this band of channel resistance, now support in the mid 140s to low 150s, thinking that it just might contain monthly, possibly quarterly buying pressures, and we could fall back to the lower channel. But that obviously didn't happen. Over 2 months ago, we settled above this band of channel support in the 144.67 to 152.78 area currently, primarily from a very positive earnings number that came out on Tesla at that time. And at that point, a little over 2 months ago, we shifted into anticipating this 235.23 long-term channel top, which is dropping at a linear pace and remains sort of our big picture target. The question is whether, we will test it, over the next 2 to 3, 3 to 5 months, or in as many weeks. And either one is actually possible. This is the 2 to 3 week time frame. There's a slight difference now, and I'll get to that in just a second. But what I'm showing here is that we had a sell signal 3, 4 weeks ago when we closed below this channel bottom that's presently at 208.78. Then anticipating the rising two-thirds speed line that is presently at 179.19. The speed line held. We've rallied out of here on the way up. We closed last week, last Tuesday, above a descending two-thirds speed line, which is still a very legitimate level. It's just that we've slipped below it quite a bit. And with the sort of anemic quality right now that I would call it, I'm just going to call it a 1-star level. It still has meaning for the day. And in fact, we could still pull out of here, but it really is 208.78. I'm sort of upgrading once again to a more meaningful resistance. There was a point where I was expecting it to be violated pretty quickly following the settlement above the speed line last week, but that didn't obviously happen. And so now it really is sort of a 208.78. This is our weekly resistance area. I have it as 2 stars. We're not going to see that today. We may see it later in the week, and it could contain buying through the rest of the week, and we just might come off of it again. We could trade inside this gradually narrowing wedge for the next week or two. 179.19 being the base, still a 4-star support, able to absorb selling, through April. From here, within a week or two, 208.78. And within 2 to 3 weeks, 3 to 5 weeks, I'd say at the most, 235.23. 235.23 is still, once again, this long-term descending channel top that represents significant long-term resistance for this market. Of course, it's preceded by 221.25, and once again, that is that longer-term 3/8 upside Fibonacci we came very close to testing in early February before backing off and nearly actually testing this band of long-term channel support that I mentioned earlier. But what sort of carried the day, obviously, was the rising two-thirds speed line. So here we are, 188.48 is our daily support, and above which we've got 200.66. Now, where are you, 200.66 is nothing more than last week's high. And, we've had trouble in this area. I think it could certainly give us trouble today. It may actually contain daily buying pressures, but I would keep it light here in terms of aggressive selling. You could certainly liquidate some of a long position if you've been buying it along this descending two-thirds speed line that is presently at 188.48. If you're still long and we rally to 200.66 and your time frame is just sort of 1 to 3 days, 3 to 5 days, you may consider taking profits here. I don't know about selling this aggressively to play the short side. In other words, as we approach 200.66, might you reach for 180 out of the money or 182 out of the money puts? That don't expire for at least a week. You could, but just keep in mind that we are bullish in the sort of the 3 to 5 week time frame above 179.19, and we're still constructive. I'll put it for the week itself above 188.48. This 208.78 former channel bottom in reach over the next 3 to 5 days. And if you could say that if we push through 200.66, 208.78 is in reach on an intraday basis, but I really think it would require a settlement today above 200.66 that would then yield 208.78 rising daily tomorrow. 208.78 able to contain buying into later week, possibly through the rest of the week, and we could fall back into, we'll just call it the 180s again from there over the following full week of trade.
Hi, if you enjoy watching our daily Tesla report, you'll love our daily Triple Q and SPY reports. They're presented in the same 5 to 10 minute video format. Our daily SPY and Triple Q analysis provides directional market signals that are correlated with highly specific price support and resistance levels. Whether your trading time horizon is short or longer term, we promise you a distinctive edge in your trading of the SPY and Triple Q. We offer a 5-day, no questions asked, money-back guarantee. So go to wickedstocks.com right now and start receiving your daily SPY and daily Triple Q reports today.
Now, it would be, a settlement above 208.78, and I have that as a green line here, that would show secondary buying pressures likely to yield at 235.23 within just another week or two of trade. Of course, there will be hesitancy on the way up at 221 and a quarter, but I think on the way up this time, I'm just going to call this a session containment level. And just leave it at that, because I think 208.78 is our more significant upward continuation point. In other words, closing above 208.78 would signal 235.23 once again within a week or two. That 235.23, by the way, is a meaningful long-term channel top that can contain at least monthly, quite possibly quarterly buying pressures when tested. And following a test of that, we could fall off from here in a meaningful way, perhaps back to this channel support within several months of doing so. A settlement, though, at the end of any week above 235.23 would indicate, I think, a good low through the rest of the year and likely gains as we move into Q3, Q4. Continued gains, I might add. With respect to the downside, let's talk downside here, actually. And I'm going to go back again to the two-thirds speed line at 188.48. So the day trade sets up support at 188.48, allowing 200.66. This is sort of the day trade. And then it kicks in again to the upside with a push through 200.66, then allowing 208.78 on an intraday basis. The 3 to 5 day swing trade is bullish above 188.48, anticipating 208.78 still as a 3 to 5 day target, where you could actually play the short side when tested, liquidating a long position presumably, and then playing the short side, whatever that may mean to you. It might actually involve buying 182 out of the money puts that don't expire for at least a week. You might go a couple of weeks out. That is the upside. And then once again, closing above 208.78, it is more of a 2 to 3 week rally to the to that 235.23 level that I mentioned. Working our way down, if we break 188.48 today, 182.29 in reach, quite possibly 179.19. 182.29 is a downside of Fibonacci. I believe it's a 50% downside from the low from about 2 weeks ago against last week's high. But really, I think you could make way for 179.19 if we break, especially open today below 188.48. 179.19 is actually in reach. That is one day trade then. If we break or open, especially below 188.48, you're playing the short side, liquidating a long anyway that you may have acquired late last week. playing the short side down to 179.19, where profits can be taken. You could reverse, go long for the day traders, go long on a 3 to 5 day swing trade rather, back up perhaps to this 208.78, and also, go long. Um, over the 3 to 5 week time frame. And I guess I could just stick with this image here because above 279.19, this 235.23 level is in reach by the end of April or sooner. So there's that. Now, in terms of the real downside, which is to say closing today below 179.19, I'm expecting then a 2 to 3 week, could happen quicker, sell off into what I'm just going to round out as the mid 140s. 146.06 is a downside 5/8 Fibonacci from the January low to the February high, and also correlates quite well right now with a band of long-term channel support that I showed earlier on the weekly chart that on the daily chart is presently 145.62 to 154.02, and we'll be following this area as it continues south. There will come a point where the 154.02 channel will coincide more closely with the 5/8 downside Fibonacci at 146.06, but we'll cover that at that time. I think that pretty much rounds it out for Monday's Daily Tesla Report. Please click like and subscribe and check out wickedstocks.com. We offer a 5-day money back guarantee, very reasonable price package for everything that we offer, and a 5-day money back guarantee. If you're not happy after 5 days or within 5 days, just shoot us an email. We will refund you in full, no questions asked. You have a great day. Be back tomorrow.